What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. Interesting times it is, the question for fans, I think, or for your everyday fan of cinema, is continually getting raised. Like, when will we actually get good movies? When will we get movies that are not, exclusively based on, making men bad? When are we going to get? We've got, oh, James Bond's going to be female. Oh, the new Indiana Jones is going to be female. Oh, the new Pirates of the Caribbean is going to be female. Whether or not, like, these end up being good or bad movies, all it does is prove that Hollywood is completely out of ideas, completely floundering. Their best idea is, let's take something people love and probably make it worse. When their entire value proposition is, hey, it's a chick now, that doesn't really motivate me to spend money. Now, plenty of people went to go see Black Panther 2, which obviously that wasn't necessarily the case there. I mean, they lost Chadwick Boseman, but it was still obviously a very empowering film for females. Very middle of the road Marvel movie, just like expected. Even the critics basically said, it's good, but people want to see it because it's one of the bigger Marvel franchises. But now we may be seeing an end to that, as Margot Robbie, who, again, I have no issue with, the woke all-female Pirates of the Caribbean, has now been canceled. We're going to get into that after a super quick word from this video's sponsor, Sheath. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor. That's right, Sheath. These boxers are designed to keep your balls off your legs. Sheath has 3 individual compartments to keep everything down there separate and cool and comfortable. And hey, since they've been a long-time sponsor, I've heard from many of you who have tried out Sheath and really love it. They were invented by a U.S. Army soldier who came up with the idea for Sheath during his second tour in Iraq, where it was hot as heck and his boys needed to breathe. And on top of all sorts of awesome designs for Sheath, they've added all sorts of winter items, hoodies, gator necks, and all sorts of base layers. Head on over to the link in the description and pin comment down below. Use my promo code to save and support the channel and keep everything nice, cool, and dry. How Disney treated Johnny Depp in terms of, well, cutting him from everything with zero evidence. And we also know that he has been vindicated, at least in the eyes of the law. There's been a lot of people who, still are a little, they believe, they use terms like her truth or my truth or whatever the case is. They're not interested in facts. They're just interested in their feelings. Again, no disrespect to Margot Robbie. From what I can tell, she's not like one of these weirdo, woke Hollywood people. If she is, it's not making headlines. I think she just does work. Whoever told her to call Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn was an idiot and cost her probably $50 million at the box office, maybe 30 to 50 million. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We knew now that Disney was set to decide to go with an all-female Pirates of the Caribbean reboot, which made no sense to me. Now, there's an argument to be made for all of the declining success of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies and how perhaps it needed some sort of reboot. And, Johnny Depp isn't getting any younger and things of that nature. But I think the series still relies exclusively on Johnny Depp. So if Johnny Depp can't carry the Pirates of the Caribbean series as Jack Sparrow, I'm not exactly sure anyone could, especially if you're just replaced with Whammon. And now that the court case has been won, Margot Robbie says her female-led Pirates of the Caribbean movie is dead at Disney. I guess they don't want to do it. Margot Robbie announced in the new Vanity Fair cover story that her female-fronted Pirates of the Caribbean movie is dead at Disney. Variety had reached out to the studio for comment. It was announced on June 20th that Oscar nominee Robbie will be the star of a new Pirates of the Caribbean movie at Disney, written by her Birds of Prey screenwriter, Christina Hodson. So there you go. On top of that, it was set to be more woke trash like Birds of Prey was. Remember how Birds of Prey did their media tours and then they said, oh yeah, closet misogynists are really gonna be afraid of this movie, or whatever the case was. Quote, we had an idea and we were developing it for a while, ages ago, to have more of a female-led, but not totally female-led, but just a different kind of story, which we thought would have been really cool. By the way, there have been prominent females in all of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, at least the ones I've seen. I haven't seen them all. I'm not like a Pirates super fan. I'm not like one of these weirdo YouTubers who turned out to be who over the trial turned out to be some kind of weirdo stan for Johnny Depp. I mean, I think that I'm sure that he's not perfect, but I believe what was said about him by his ex was wrong and said with malice, and I'm happy he won his lawsuit, and I hope he wins the appeal. But Roby told Vanity Fair about her intended, quote, Pirates movie with Disney, but I guess they don't want to do it. Variety reports that in summer of 2020, Disney was in early development on Roby's Pirates movie, as well as a second reboot of the franchise. Veteran Todd Elliott and Chernobyl director Craig Mazin, Jerry Bruckheimer, who produced all 5 Pirates movies starring Johnny Depp, was attached to both new projects at the time. In an interview with the Sunday Times in May, Bruckheimer said that both films remained in development. The mega producer also confirmed that the future of the Pirates franchise does not currently have Johnny involved, despite rumors touting his return. Quote, yes, we're talking to Margot Robbie. We're developing 2 Pirates scripts, one with her and one without. Bruckheimer said, who was asked about the future of the Pirates franchise, will JD be back? Not at this point. The future is not yet decided. The previous Pirates movies, all starring JD as Captain Jack Sparrow, grossed $1.5 billion domestically and $3.07 billion internationally, with the North American market representing a progressively smaller share. The domestic total for 2017's Dead Men Tell No Tales hit $172 million, while foreign markets delivered $622. All Pirates films have grossed more than $650 million worldwide, with Dead Man's Chest and On Stranger Tides both topping the $1 billion mark. Well, I would tell you this much, my friend. If they had a new Pirates of the Caribbean movie, like ready to rock and, go into filming, as quickly as possible, I am certain it would do exceedingly well at the box office, given how many hundreds of thousands of people watched that trial intimately and I think became bigger fans of Johnny Depp and would want to support that movie. 100,000, 200,000 people mobilizing to support Johnny Depp, to support his return, to support his triumphant return. He has said, though, that he's not interested in doing so because he's pissed at Disney, which I 110% understand. He has every right to be mad that he was found guilty, without any kind of, he was presumed guilty, I should say, and removed from those movies. Also removed from what ended up being a complete box office failure, the Fantastic Beasts movie. You see, a Screen Rant, Margot Robbie says her female-led Pirates of the Caribbean reboot with Birds of Prey writer Christina Hodson has been canceled by Disney. I mean, I think ultimately this opens the door to Johnny's return. TMZ reports Disney yanks Pirates movie Olive Branch for Johnny? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Margot Robbie won't be sailing off in the Pirates of the Caribbean movie after all, which could be a good sign for JD. The actress revealed her would-be Pirates of the Caribbean film is done at Disney. In a new interview with Vanity Fair, Margot explained that in developing the idea for her as a lead for a few years, but at this point, it's over. As for why Margot Robbie says, I guess they just don't want to do it. It's interesting. Earlier this year, an OG producer on the Pirates franchise, Jerry Bruckheimer, said that it was. He also left the door open for a possible reunion with Johnny Depp, although he noted that JD wasn't attached at that time. No official word on Disney and Johnny linking back up for more Jack Sparrow, a partnership that grossed the studio upwards of $2 billion. But the fact that they're scrapping Margot idea entirely might be a signal they're musing about another JD installment. That, or maybe they're done with mythical pirates in general. Probably not, though. Yeah, I wouldn't think that that's the case. I think that they are going to they're going to try to bring Johnny back. Now, he has said that he has no interest in coming back, but they could give him, 40 million plus reasons to do so. And I would argue that that's probably enough to let bygones be bygones. It'll be interesting to follow this story as it develops. Make sure that you leave a like on this video. And if you haven't yet, you click that subscribe button down below so you can get updated as we find out more information about this. And make sure to check out the video sponsor, Sheath. I know it's weird as a guy to be thinking about trying new underwear or whatever, but you've got very little to lose and a ton to gain. I actually think you're really going to like them if you give them a try. We'll talk to you again real soon.